All right. This is episode number 1. So I am just going to go over some basics of real estate. So I'm going to go over the compound effect of real estate. So there are 4 ways you can make money in real estate, right? So I'm just going to briefly go over each of these ways, and I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible, and just keep it right here in this Excel sheet. So let's just say you decide to buy a rental property. Okay, and let's just say that this property, and we are going to make this all, okay. So let's say you buy this property for $500,000. Let's say it's a duplex, okay? So this duplex, you're to rent out 2 sides of this duplex, okay? So first you got to have your monthly expenses and your profit. So your monthly profit, how to calculate that is you take your total costs, okay, and you subtract, you have your total costs and your total rent, right? So let's say, and we're gonna move these around. Okay, so you take these, and just to keep it simple, let's say your total rent you're charging is $2,000, okay? And your total costs are $1,000, okay? So your profit or your cash flow profit is the difference of those two. So pretty simple, $1,000 a month. Okay, so that's monthly. And we can kind of show this here. So this is monthly. Okay. All right, so there is, that's your first way that you make money in real estate, right? You have your monthly cash flow. Okay, so the second way, so I'll just type this up, monthly cash flow. Okay. Your next way that you make money in real estate is appreciation gain. Okay. So you buy this house, and let's just kind of show this here. So year 1, so this is, or year 0, right? Year 0, you buy it. That's the price that you buy it for. Year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, or we'll go to year 5. Okay. So historically, real estate has gone up in value. Okay, so you can buy a stock, and that's typically how you buy money in stocks, right? Again, I'm not, a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, right? This is just from my experience. So you can go buy a stock, and that stock can go up in value, right? And so you buy low, sell high, right? It's the basics, the basics of stock market investing. You can get dividends, right? That's kind of like cash flow. Okay, so in real estate, this is how, your asset or your purchase or your stock, right, in real estate goes up in value, okay? So year 0, when you buy it, it's $500,000. Okay, so historically, real estate has gone up in value each year, 5% per year, okay? So year 1, you'll take what you bought it at, so you bought it at market rent or at market value, and you times that by 1.05. Okay, that will give you, I guess that would be, yeah. So that gives you your gain. Okay, so your net gain, and I'm actually gonna do, yeah, we'll just write your gain right here. So total gain will show below here. Okay, so total gain. Okay, so year 1, obviously you haven't made any, or year 0, you haven't made any money. Okay, year 1, it goes up in value by $25,000. Okay, so we take the difference in what you bought it for and what it's worth now. Okay, so year 1, you've made appreciation. You don't get to have that, right, necessarily, unless you did some sort of cash out refinance, which we'll go over in future episodes. But that, if you were to sell your house after holding your house for 1 year, you would get appreciation of $25,000. Okay, could go up way more. My first house that I purchased, I actually purchased it during COVID time, so house prices were pretty low, interest rates were extremely low. I think I got like a 2.25% interest rate on that house. Okay, and we held it for 2 years, and then we did a cash out refinance, and we actually pulled out about 150K, right, in 1 year of holding it because it went up in that much of value. But we also were able to hold on to the house, which we can go into that at a later time. But that's how appreciation works. Okay, so year 2, same thing. It goes up, right? But now, so this is the whole compound effect, right? So it doesn't just take that 5% from the first year every year, right? It's 5% of what it's worth the previous year, right? So now we're adding an additional 5% value of that property for the current year, right? So now if we drag this over, no, we got to do this now. So this equation is actually different now. So now if we were to sell it, we take our current price minus what we paid for it. And now we have an appreciation gain, a total gain of 51,000. Okay. So now we'll just keep going through this. So it's like, you see the benefits of holding real estate for a long time. So now your house is worth this much. Year 4, your house is now worth 607,000. Okay. And now in year 5, your house is worth 638,000, right? Because it's taking that 5% over time. That's the power of the compound effect right there. Okay. Small gains at the start, big gains as you keep holding and you keep letting that appreciate. Okay, so I'm gonna continue out this formula here. Oops, not that one. 4, there we go. Okay, so now we're going to keep dragging this through, and you can see by the end, if you were to hold that house, you buy it, right, 500,000, and now it's worth 638,000. Now you sell it after year 5. Again, this can fluctuate, right? Maybe year 1 it goes up 3%, but year 2 it goes up 6%. Year 2 it goes up 5%. Year 4 it actually goes down. These are all supposed to be percents, right? 3, 6, 5, right? It only goes up by 2%, or it even goes down, right? It's a negative 2% increase from the year before, and then this year it goes up by 3%. Okay. The idea is that on average it goes up by 5 years or 5%. Okay, so that's appreciation gain. So first way, right? Monthly cash flow. Second way of making money in real estate is appreciation gain. Okay. Now let's move to the third way, which is your tax benefits. Yeah. And actually, before we dive into tax benefits, I actually want to go to principal. Principal or principal? Oh, well, you guys can correct me in the comments. Okay, principal pay down. Okay. So as part of your monthly payments go and your monthly expenses go, you have it's called your PITI. Okay, you have your principal, your interest, your taxes, and your insurance. Okay. Principal. Okay. So your principal, so here's your entire monthly payments, your $2,000. Your 1,000, which actually your cost, you're going to include things like utilities, you're going to include things like yard maintenance. But just to keep it simple right here, we'll just talk about principal and interest, or PITI. Okay, so your total payment is $1,000 a month. So of that, your principal, right, this is what you're paying towards actually paying your loan off, right? Depending on what your interest rate is, it's most likely going to be somewhere around half, right, to start with. So half of your monthly payment is going to actually towards paying off the loan that you get, because you get a loan on your house, right? So you got an 80%. You put down a 20% down payment, And so you have 80% of that left that you're paying back as your mortgage payment, right? So 500 of that will go towards paying down, right? Principal pay down. So say your principal, right? We're saying that it's times by 80%. That's how much you have of a loan that you need to pay down. So every month you're taking that amount and you're subtracting $500. Okay. And that's what's going towards that. The other amount, right? You have like $350 going to this, you have your taxes, and you have your insurance, right? I don't even think that adds up to $1,000, but you get the idea. So that amount goes to taxes, that amount goes to insurance, this goes to interest, right? You lose all of this. None of this you get back. That's all just right in the garbage, right? Garbage. But this amount you actually can get back. Okay, so I want you guys to think of your house as a bank, right? Or your rental property as a bank. Okay, so every single month you have renters in your house. They pay the $2,000. Okay, 350 of that goes to interest to your mortgage broker or to your, the person that gave you your loan. $50 goes to taxes, $100 goes to insurance. Okay, that's all bye-bye money, right? But the principal, that goes back into your house. Okay, so let's expand on that, right? And then the other $1,000 goes into your actual bank account, right, as profit. So let's expand that. Okay, so let's just do some basic year calculations. And let's see here. Okay, so year by year. So year 0, you owe $400,000 on your loan. Okay, so we'll go loan amount. Okay, so after the entire year, so you get that amount, right? So that's how much you owe minus your $500 that goes towards principal times by the 12 months. Okay, because that's a monthly amount that you're paying. So just to break that down, 500 times by 12, $6,000 goes to principal pay down. Okay, so there's that, and then in the next year, you actually, right, you only owe this much. Okay, and same thing happens. You pay down another $500 each month, and then that goes throughout the entire process. So now you've paid down, and I can kind of show the amounts here, showing the total pay down, total principal pay down. Okay. So your total principal pay down is right here. Okay, so equals, we'll go 500 times by 12, boom. That's what you get the first year. Second year, it's this times by 2, or first year, I guess. And then we'll go the whole way down. I think that's right. It wouldn't be times by 2. So this is just showing your total. So I guess every single year would just be 600, or it would be 6,000. But once you get to the end of this, you can actually see the total pay down right here, which is the sum of those numbers. Thank you, Excel. Okay, so you pay down a total of $36,000 towards your actual mortgage. Okay, that's all good. Okay, so that's after 5 years. Okay, and hopefully as you go through this, what you'll see is your amortization schedule, right, which shows the breakdown of how much is going towards interest and how much is going towards principal. Over time, your principal amount should be increasing. Your interest amount will be higher. So let's say year 1, it's actually $550 going towards that. Year 2, it's $600 going towards principal. Year 3, it's $650. Year 4, it's $700, right? That's pretty high, but just for example's sake. Okay, so now your total pay down is different, right? So now it's whatever we said, 550 times by 12, and 600 times by 12, and 700. I say 700. Let's see. Yeah, 650. 50 times by 12, and 700 times by 12, and finally we have 800 times by 12. I think that's what I was saying here. 750. Okay, so there you go. There's your total pay down, right? Again, it wouldn't be exactly that. It could be higher or lower. But that's your total pay down after 5 years, okay? And then lastly, you have the last benefit, okay? So you get to access this. So just to kind of recap here, you get your monthly your cash flow profit, okay? Which I'm going to do a further breakdown of your monthly cash flow profit right here. Let's just kind of insert this right here. Oopsie. Okay. So to break this down year by year, you have some other things that are going on. Okay, your rent won't stay the same amount each year. Okay, so year zero, right? You're getting $2,000 of rent each month, and in year two or year one, you decide to raise rent by, let's say, 5%. Let's just see what that would bring us to. So we times that by 1.05. Okay, there you go. That's perfect. That's what I would suggest. I typically raise rents on my properties by 5% each year. Okay, and my tenants know that. They know that they're going to get an increase about 5%, depending on what the market's doing, but that's typically what's going on. So then we bring that all the way through. So now by year 5, and it's probably not going to be, you're going to stick to solid or whole numbers. So we'll go 2,200, 2,300, 2,400, 2,500. Okay, so $100 a year essentially. Okay, so every year it goes up $100. So now, and that's just monthly rate. Okay, and then we have this times by 12, right? Because there's 12 months in a year and you're charging rent every single month. So there you go. That is your total rent amount. And then this is your total cash flow. What's nice about real estate is here's your monthly payments. Your principal and interest is most likely going to stay the same the entire time, right? It's not going to increase as far as what you're going to pay. Your taxes will most likely increase over time. Hopefully not at super high rates, but it's a small number. So, worst case scenario, year 5, you're paying $150 a month in taxes, which would be kind of crazy to go up that high, but definitely possible. Insurance might go up a little bit as well, right? We can put that to 200 or whatever, 250 after 5 years. But for the most part, your monthly payment is a fixed cost. So that will stay the same, right? As your cash flow is increasing. Okay. So your total cash flow is, right, we have, here's our total rent, right, minus our costs, which is $1,000 a month. Okay, so we'll times 1,000 by 12. And there you have it. There is your total cash flow per each year. Okay, and I'll add one more spot here. So we have total end of 5-year cash flow. Okay, equals yep, I can type. Okay, boom, there you go. Okay, 90,000 after five years. Okay, so now we have our tax benefits, and I'll just briefly describe this here. Tax benefits. Okay, so your property, according to the IRS, depreciates at a rate of 27.5 years, right? So you're going to take your entire property value from when you bought it, so 500,000, and you get to divide that by 27.5 years. Okay, so every year you get to write off legally on your taxes $18,000. Okay, and every single year you get to do that. Okay, so on paper, right? Let's go through this really quick too, not to make this too complicated, but cash flow. This is a gain that you will have on paper on your end of year taxes. You made 12,000 this year, 13,000, 14,000, 5,000, whatever amounts you're making from that property. And you won't show on paper any principal pay down. That's not actual cash in your pocket yet. Same with appreciation gain, right? Even though it's appreciating, according to the IRS, your property is depreciating. Depreciation. Okay. So at the end of the year, you get to say, hello, IRS. I made, right? Let's just say it's year 1. And you get to say, I made, $13,000. But my property also appreciated. My property also depreciated $19,000. So P&L, profit and loss statement, right, is what you get to report to the IRS on your taxes. So according to the government, this is tax code that they invented. We made a loss of $4,000. And if you are a tax professional, or if you are a real estate professional, not sure the exact definition, but you spend the majority of your time during the year doing real estate related activities, you can qualify as a real estate professional. And this tax loss, right? This loss on paper can be rolled into your personal taxes as well. So say from you have your 9-to-5 job and you're making $60,000 a year, and you would have had to pay $5,000 in taxes or whatever. You could roll this into your taxes, right? And so that tax benefit can roll and help you on the rest of your taxes as well, which is awesome. So there's tax benefits breakdown really quick, right? You don't actually, so even though last year on my property, I made like $21,000 in rent, right? But according to the government, my property depreciated more than that amount. So I made a negative something profit, right? So I didn't pay a single dollar to taxes on that property, which is amazing. Okay. So now let's just total this all up, right? So we have, all of our properties, we'll try to wrap this up really quick here. So monthly cash flow. So these are all benefits all put together, appreciation gain, and principal pay down, and tax benefits. Okay. So we will just do this right here. Boom. Okay, so total monthly cash flow, and let's just total this up. Yeah, that's actually good. Okay, so we'll go boom. This was our cash flow plus, let's see, I guess I just need to take this right here. There we go. Here we go, people. Boom. There was cash flow. There was appreciation gain. And then here is principal pay down. And obviously your tax benefits is just another benefit to real estate. Okay. So, and then we have our totals. Okay. So, and this is our year by year total. Again, please leave any comments if any of this doesn't make sense and I can clarify any of this. So boom, there's year 1. For some reason that didn't work. Oh, I didn't do an actual calculation or a formula. Equals sum. There we go. Okay, boom. Year 1, we made $18,000 between cash flow, appreciation gain, and principal pay down. Okay. And again, to access principal pay down, you either have to do a cash out refinance or sell your property, right? That's how you access that pay down, as well as appreciation gain. Okay. So, and then we'll go through year 1, 48, year 2, 72, year 3, 100, and then year 4 and year 5. Boom. Okay. So the totals from each of those, right? Really quickly. We have, this is the total of 5 years. So this is your 5-year total. 5-year totals. Okay, sweet. So there we go. So our total, right, after 5 years from all these different things. So say we came into this property, we bought it for $500,000. We now have that property, everything that we paid into it, plus the $500,000. Okay. So at that point, you now sell your property for, and where's our appreciation at? We sell it for that amount. And let's see if I have all these gains here correct. Boom. Okay. So that's just pure gain. So you now walk away. Okay. So now you have this property. Here's that. You get to sell your property. Your property is now worth $638,000. Okay. So you get to sell that property. You get to also access all of this money. So now you're up, okay, I had her in review. I thought I was doing something wrong, and I definitely was. I took the total of all of this appreciation gain, but this is actually the running total right here of what the total appreciation gain will be after year 5. So now we bring the total right here. You made $90,000 in monthly cash flow. You made $138,000 in appreciation gain, and you paid down your principal by $45,000. Okay, so you sell the house for $638,000. You came into the property with only $100,000, and you walked away with $273,000 after selling. So there you go. All the benefits of owning rental properties and getting into that. Look forward for the next episode. Thanks for watching.